Hey guys, how's it all going? Welcome to my video about my double jaw surgery and genioplasty. I've been wanting to make this video for a couple of weeks now. I'm going to cut my head off, which is always great. Let's turn that up a little bit, there we go. I've been wanting to make this video a couple of weeks now as look, I've seen obviously quite a few videos on YouTube about this. Quite a lot of the videos are based from people who are, people in the US who are making it, but which is great. Heaps of info out there, but certainly I think from an Australian perspective there seems to be maybe a little bit of gap, and I thought it'd be worth covering that off, in particular some of the stuff around Medicare, private health funds, who I use for surgery, all of that type of stuff. So anyway, what I thought I'd do is I'm going to break these videos down into kind of 3 videos. So I'm going to talk about this one will be about the pre-prep around surgery, so what I potentially would recommend and what I did in the run-up to the surgery. I'll talk about the surgery itself in my second video, and then I'll talk about the recovery in the third video as well. So keen to kind of get three videos out there: pre, during, what to expect, so to speak, and then a post-recovery focused video, since I'm kind of 12 and a half weeks post-surgery, post-DJS now, which is awesome. Now, just a little bit of background about kind of me, how I came to end up having to have this surgery. So look, I've known that I've had a class 3 underbite since I was, 20, 21 I suspect, and I'm 34 now, so it's kind of been 15 years in the making. Back in December 2016, it was kind of now or never for me. It was kind of like, if I'm going to get this done, now is the time. I'm still young enough to recover quickly and kind of pick up fairly quickly from when the surgery has happened and heal quickly as well. I had a class 3 underbite, so for me to get to the point of having surgery, I had to have kind of 18 months worth of braces, and I'll talk a little bit about that in a moment, but I'm not going to get into a heap of detail around why I chose particular braces or anything like that. I think there's other videos that will cover that off. And then I'll talk about Medicare, private health fund. I'll talk about why I chose the surgeon I did. I will talk a bit about kind of how I try to approach the surgery from a mental perspective, because I think a lot of it is in your head, it's in your mindset about how you go into the surgery. And then we're also going to talk about some of the things you're potentially going to need in hospital and also out of hospital as well, for this video in particular. So just a bit on my braces. So I got treated by Dr. Nortarath at Chatswood Orthodontics. December 2016, when I opted to get my braces, I went for lingual braces. So for those who are not aware, they're the braces that kind of sit behind your teeth. So as you can see, I don't have any braces that you can see. They're all tucked in behind the teeth. So look, I know that's more expensive than going the traditional manner, but the role that I was in, from a work perspective at the time, I was client-facing, customer-facing every single day. So I didn't really want them to impact my look, so to speak, but I know that you obviously can get normal braces that are a lot cheaper. I had those on from December 16 until March this year. I had the surgery on the 6th of March. We've just rolled over three months post my surgery date. Now, as I mentioned, Medicare and private health insurance. So, look, I'm not a specialist on this front by any stretch of the imagination. Look, you can if you get your item codes from your surgeon, you'll be able to have a look at exactly what you are covered for and what the limits are. Long story short, I don't know of any health fund that is going to cover your surgeon costs, full stop, that I'm aware of. So for me, I had to pay my excess, obviously, and then my private health insurance covered my 5-day hospital stay, including the first night in intensive care. So they basically covered that bit. What they also covered, along with the Medicare specified rebate, was basically about $4,000 in total of my surgery costs. So my surgery costs were $22,500. So basically I was about $18,500 out of pocket on the surgery side of things. In addition to that, you're also going to have the anaesthetist bill on top of that. So depending on your surgeon uses, how long the surgery goes for, what surgery you have, if you're having double jaw surgery, just single jaw surgery, it really is dependent on kind of what surgery you're having and how long you're going to be on the operating table for. In my experience, I was on the operating table for 5.5 hours. So my anaesthetist costs were basically $4,200. So, and of that, the Medicare rebate was basically, and the private health fund, the two combined, using the two-way claim form, totaled about $1,000. So, another $3,000 or so out of pocket off the back of that. So, in total out-of-pocket expenses for me were kind of $21,500, including the excess that I paid. So, look, obviously, to make sure you want to make sure you've got top hospitals and top extras covered. The extras probably don't come into it, but certainly top hospital does. You need to make sure that you have that to be able to pick the hospital that you want to go for, and to make sure you're fully covered. So if you are thinking that you need to have this surgery, you make sure you check your health insurance. Obviously, I'm not recommending that you change or whatever you do. Certainly no advice in regards to medical insurance coming from me. Moving on to kind of what I thought about kind of how I approach the surgery mentally, I suppose. So for me, I think this is the biggest thing. No doubt if you've watched a whole bunch of YouTube videos, you've seen people really swollen and you think, geez, they look absolutely horrendous, and how much pain am I going to be in at the end of the surgery and all this type of stuff. And I think, and certainly if you've been using Dr. Google to kind of look at what to do your research, which you probably have, then you're probably kind of thinking worst case scenario. So my advice would be try and avoid watching YouTube videos if you can. Funny enough. I think everyone's different. Everyone heals at different rates, recovers at different rates, so it's very much a case-by-case basis. But certainly, if you're watching this video and you're not on the jaw surgery support group on Facebook, jump on there. There's heaps of people that are going through exactly the same thing as you. Heaps of people posting questions. It's a really useful support network, so that's the first thing I'd do. I'd get on that. It's completely normal to experience nerves in the run-up to the surgery. I know when I kind of first started doing a bit of research on what to anticipate from the surgery perspective 18 months ago, 2 years ago, I was really put off by it, and I was kind of like, I don't really know if I want to go through with this, because it is going to be so painful. From my perspective, I guess I've had to have a number of surgeries. I've had an L5-S1 microdiscectomy. About 4 years ago, I got hit by a car when I was riding home from work. I was doing about 55 kilometers an hour on my road bike. The damage from that accident alone, in particular around my legs and my knees and that type of thing, was far worse than the surgery for my face, the double jaw surgery. To put some perspective on that, I couldn't walk for 6 weeks. Probably 3 months, 4 months. The bone bruising was that bad from that accident. It was, compared to the double jaw surgery was essentially, I was uncomfortable in my face, but the rest of me was working fine. The other thing I think is really beneficial from a mental perspective is you've got to look at the positives when you're in the hospital as well. Think of embrace the positives. Okay, you've gone through the surgery, you're probably going to be feeling pretty crap for the first week or two, certainly. But the good thing is plenty of people have gone through the surgery before. If they can do it, you can definitely do it. I'm not anyone special, not by any stretch of the imagination, and I managed to get through the surgery no problems. So I think you've got to look at the positives, take each day as it comes when you're recovering, focus on the things that you don't normally, focus on the things that are important, I should say. So sleeping and recovery, that should be your number one focus no matter what. So all throughout your recovery until you're given the all clear at the 6-week mark. You know, I've got 2 young kids, a 6-year-old and a 2.5-year-old who turns 3 in a couple of months. The opportunity to kind of sleep during the day, you know, it doesn't come around that often. So, you know, my advice would be definitely embrace the positives on that front. Look, obviously, if you've been watching videos, yeah, you're going to be swollen in the face. It's just a fact of the matter. But look, the more rest you can do, the more you can use ice packs, and I'll talk about this in a bit, the better off you're going to be. Now, on the jaw surgery Facebook group, there's been a list of things that people have put together on an Excel spreadsheet. There's a whole list of things that people consider taking into the hospital. I must admit, I didn't take in all of that type of stuff, but some of the kind of key things that I would definitely recommend that you need to think about either purchasing or getting hold of in some way, shape or form. So the first one is a body pillow. I used one of these when I came home from hospital and I had to sleep upright for 6 weeks. These are an absolute godsend, so definitely recommend getting one of those. Next thing, fairly large syringes, so that you can basically eat soup, Weetabix, all of that type of stuff. And when you know, certainly your first 4 weeks to 6 weeks, you're probably going to be on a liquid or very soft food diet. So, yeah, to give you some idea about what my diet was when I was post the surgery, morning I'd wake up, I'd have Weetabix for breakfast, which was very, very soggy for a syringe. Then I'd normally have like a squeezy yogurt or something like that around 10 a.m. to top that up. Lunchtime would be soup, of which I would have pre-made a whole bunch of these soups. You know, get creative with your recipes that you're making. So, you know, my mum was fortunately over here from England, and I'll talk a bit about support and that type of thing that you need in a moment. But you know, we made spiced parsnip, Stilton and broccoli, potato soup, tomato soup, you name it. Tried all these different soups basically to kind of keep the variety, because it's pretty hard, not going to lie, when you're recovering, because your diet is restricted. So, you know, get creative with your soups, give yourself something to look forward to. I know it's not much, but it's definitely something. The other thing I think you'll need is ice packs for your swelling, or heat packs. Some people prefer heat packs, ice packs, whatever it may be. And then if you're moving on to kind of the support side of things and what potentially you're going to need from that perspective. So if you've got kids, you know, I'm originally from England. I live in Sydney, Australia. My mum came out from England to help look after the kids. If you've got family close by, or you know, you need to lean on them. So if you're single, I would either recommend going and staying at a close friend's house if they're willing to have you, stay at your parents' place, something along those lines. Or if you've got kids, you know, get some support, you know, mum, dad, whatever it may be, to help you out from that perspective. Because certainly for me, for what I was told from my recovery, no lifting, no strenuous activities, nothing like that. So, you know, picking up your kids, for example, is just an absolute no-go. I couldn't drive, so you know, and even after the surgery, when I felt well enough to walk, I've been strictly told you've got to keep it on. You've got to be focused on your recovery, because remember, you're breaking bones up in here. You know, bones take 6 weeks to heal as a minimum, and you want to make sure that these bones are definitely healed before you start doing any exercise or anything like that, really. What else can I talk about? So look, those are the kind of things that I've covered off. I realise I'm up to 14 minutes for this video, and I've probably been talking at you guys for quite a bit. I hope some of you guys have found this first video useful as to what to expect in the run-up to your surgery. Part 2 will be about the surgery itself, and the first couple of days after the surgery and what to expect from that perspective. It's probably going to be a little bit shorter. And then part 3, I'm going to talk a bit about my recovery and how quickly I started to get back into, you know, normal everyday life. So, thanks guys for watching. Hope you found this useful. Subscribe, hit like, do all the usual things that YouTubers do, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. Talk to you soon.